So the cover-up between the Trump campaign and the media gives us a good opportunity to expose Donald Trump's awful past. Here is what CNN just posted, and this is real. CNN says, Trump has long been criticized for his public treatment of women. The ones in his life argue he's different in private. You mean the person who was found liable for sexual assault? You mean the person who's on audio tape bragging about sexually assaulting women? You mean the person who's on audio bragging about using his beauty pageants to look at naked girls without their consent? You mean the person who said that Jeffrey Epstein was a great guy who likes women on the younger side and is all over Jeffrey Epstein's list? I could go on, and I will. But let me show you more of the media cover-up first, because it's not just CNN. You have the New York Times, Usha Vance, and the iconography of the Trump women, or NPR. Women headline a night at the RNC that frame Trump as compassionate, not combative. Okay, he's someone who was found liable for sexual assault. But you want to talk about the Republican National Convention. You want to try to frame the issues like that to quite literally serve as a propaganda arm for Donald Trump to soften this for suburban women voters who absolutely are repulsed by him, and rightfully so, as all voters should be. We're going to come with actual receipts here on the MeidasTouch network, CNN and others, and we're going to show you why people are cutting the cord and coming to the MeidasTouch network and not watching you anymore. Because one thing you could report is at the Republican National Convention, Don Jr. was sitting next to his daughter getting ready for her speech, and Don Jr. referred to his daughter as sexy. Let me show you this clip.
Guy, what do you think? Getting makeup make me look sexy like you?
I think you look very beautiful.
Thank you, Kai. I'm glad you think I look very beautiful. I don't do this often, but in HD, you better do it.
Right. We're just here to make you.
I'm just excited for Kai's first speech, where she chose a very large venue to get out there. She's going to crush it. I love you, Kai.
Now, where does Don Jr. get that from? It's disgusting. But let's recall what Donald Trump says about his daughter, Ivanka. We have receipts. We have tapes for that. Let's play it.
She does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
If I weren't happily married and, you know, her father.
My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's tall. She's almost 6 feet.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
Okay, then let me show you what Donald Trump said about Epstein. This is what he said to New York Magazine. He said, Jeffrey Epstein is a great guy who likes women on the younger side. And let's just show you also what Donald Trump has also said on audio when it comes to the beauty pageants that he owned, and where he said he would inspect women without their consent naked. This is what he said. He laughed about it. He thought this was funny. Here, play this clip.
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, you know, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. You know, I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Also, numerous women at those pageants confirmed that that's exactly what he would do, how uncomfortable that would make them. There's also this report from The Guardian that talked about some of the yacht trips that Donald Trump would go on. This yacht trip in the early 1990s, around the time Donald Trump was hanging out with Epstein, Donald Trump went on did this yacht trip because he was hosting what was called the Look of the Year competition with 14-year-old girls. And you see the girls right there who were in that competition. And if you read the article, it talks about men who are old enough to be the women's grandfathers grinding on the little girls on the yacht while Donald Trump was there. There's a photo of Donald Trump there, and Donald Trump recently posted the photo of himself with the girls on his social media platform. We did a story about that here on the MeidasTouch network. The corporate media didn't report on it. Here's what Donald Trump had previously said about Lindsay Lohan when she had just turned 18. She may have even been 17 here. He talks about wanting to sleep with her because of her mental health issues. Let me play this clip for you. Let's play it.
What do you think of Lindsay Lohan now?
I think she's hot.
There's something there, right?
Yes.
But you have to like freckles. I've seen a close-up of her chest.
Yes.
And a lot of freckles. Are you into freckles?
If the father's a wreck like the way he is,
right?
You imagine the sex with this troubled...
Yeah, you're probably right. She's probably deeply troubled and therefore great in bed.
Back in the day...
How come the deeply troubled women...
Yes.
Deeply troubled...
Right.
They're always the best in bed. If for some reason what I said is true, I mean, they're just unbelievable.
I can tell from the...
You don't want to be with them for the long term, but for the short term, there's nothing.
And then, of course, we know that Donald Trump is on audio tape bragging about sexually assaulting women, and Donald Trump was deposed in the E. Jean Carroll trial about that, and Donald Trump was asked about it. And Trump was asked, this is what you said, and Donald Trump says, just fortunately or unfortunately, that's the way it is. When you're rich, they let you do it. When you're rich and famous, you can do that. Here's Donald Trump on audio saying that.
Moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try and fuck her. She was married.
Huge news, Sarah.
No, Nancy.
Yeah.
No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married. And all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Pull the hell.
Hello?
Look, we've done deep dives here of the Epstein files. Remember when MAGA was saying, release the Epstein files, release it. Okay, well, it's released. Donald Trump's name is all over it. In the most recent document dump, which includes the criminal grand jury files, Donald Trump is all over the message logs. He was previously all over the flight logs, all in the depositions. During the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell, a 14-year-old girl testified that Jeffrey Epstein brought her to Mar-a-Lago to meet Donald Trump. And then at the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, remember, Ghislaine Maxwell is the woman who would do the trafficking for Epstein. She was the one who would bring him the girls to traffic. Donald Trump wished Ghislaine Maxwell well. He said, I hope she's going to do well at the trial. You can hear it for yourself. Donald Trump was given a press conference, and he said, I wish Ghislaine well. Let me play that for you. Let's play it.
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
Also, Jeffrey Epstein would bring girls of indeterminate age on Donald Trump's plane. Donald Trump partied with Epstein. You see him hanging out with Epstein all the time. Also, Virginia Giuffre, one of the girls that Epstein trafficked. Epstein found her through Ghislaine Maxwell, where? At Mar-a-Lago. She was previously homeless. She then got a job at Mar-a-Lago when she was a teenager. Ghislaine Maxwell saw Virginia Giuffre working there and then offered her a job with Epstein, and then Epstein trafficked her. And so Mar-a-Lago was used for that purpose. And so we have the receipts here. So you go back to the coverage by CNN, and they talk about, how Trump has long been criticized for his public treatment of women. Then, of course, there is the judge who, first, a jury found that Donald Trump sexually assaulted E. Jean Carroll, and the judge made clear that's the same finding as rape. That's what the judge said took place. So when we're using words like softening, like Trump has long been criticized for his treatment, the ones in his life argue he's different in private. We know these things about him. And the fact that you're engaged, you're normalizing this behavior of someone who engaged in sexual assault really makes you an aider and abettor CNN, not just a propagandist. It actually makes you, I think, aiding and abetting trafficking. That's what I'm accusing you of doing, CNN, here, because what you're promoting is normalizing that behavior. Denver Riggleman, former Republican congressman, posted something that rang very true, and it was very solemn and a very sad realization, an observation that he made. He said, as a girl dad, as a father of a daughter, or, in your life, granddaughters, how do you explain to them that the leader of the Republican Party is someone who was found liable of sexual assault and who's on tape saying all of those things that I just shared with you? That's one of the hardest things to grapple with here. And the fact that the media has normalized it, that they don't call it out. Just this past week, Donald Trump defamed E. Jean Carroll again, his sexual assault victim. You don't hear a peep from the media about it. They're all in on authoritarianism, but what I hope and what I'm confident about is the American people are repulsed by this. As we're almost at 3 million subscribers here on the MeidasTouch network, the message is getting out. And we really need you to get the message out as well. That's why I give you all of these receipts. I don't just make the claim. I show you what he's saying on audio tape. You can hear him say these things in his own words. You could read the articles for yourself, and you can make assessments of it. If you don't believe me, just hear his own words. That's why I share these videos with people. Please let people know. That's one of the ways that you can help. If there are people who, may not be voting or don't know a lot about politics, just say, hey, listen to this. Listen to this. Is this what you think should be a leader of anything, yet alone the highest office? Someone making life and death decisions over your life? I know you're going to do. Thanks for doing that. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.